even G5 being considered the worst generation of My Little Pony, they actually did fix some plot holes in G4. Let's check it out. Hey beautiful people, I'm Julie, and before I say anything, the credit for this video goes to the Mexican channel Flash Macintosh, okay? I'll leave the link of his channel in the description. So even if G4 is considered the best among the Brony community, we need to address that a lot of things are left unanswered. Maybe because they ran out of time, or they just forgot really. And this leaves a lot of plot holes in the history. Then to clear the inconsistencies, this new generation explained a lot of them. Like for example, Spike's magical fire. G4 itself gave some hints that dragons have some magical abilities, like in Grounded of Fire from Season 6. But it is something that was never explained. So much that Spike's fire seemed to be unique, since he was the only dragon that could send and receive letters throughout his fire. Some fans even theorized that this could be due to the fact that Spike was born into Twilight's magic and not in a natural way, and that could have changed something in Spike's DNA. Others says that Celestia herself who cast a spell in Spike, so then he could be useful to Twilight during her journey. And let me tell you, all these theories are good, but G5 came with an answer that threw them in the trash. Oh well, it happens. So in G5, we see a new four-legged dragon group, meaning that by walking on fours, they are totally different from the G4 ones, which walked in 2 feet, just like humans do. And these new dragons also have magical abilities that involve fire, just like Spike does, showing that Dragons evolved throughout the years until this new generation. Now they are born with magical properties through fire, so much that Spike from G5, who now is an adult dragon, has new magical abilities, like teletransportation. And seeing this new Spike, it's clear that he mastered this magic, since he can transport himself and other creatures around him to really far places. Not OP at all. And man, this is really cool, and also much better than sending and receiving letters, right? We see that Sparky can move objects and even change their form, and he is just a baby dragon, and already that powerful, differently than baby Spike from G4. The most interesting is that now in G5, some of these dragons kinda have a cutie mark on their own, something that we have never seen before in the series. But the channel Flash Macintosh says that maybe Dragon's magic doesn't come with these marks, and that they are just a way to identify the dragons and canalize their magic, and that's because neither Spike nor Sparky have them. Well, in my headcanon, the dragons of this generation were born from pony magic, or among ponies won't have these cutie marks, while the dragons that were born within its kind will develop this beautiful mark as a way to identify themselves. Of course, I could be wrong, and later Spike and Sparky both developed a mark too, but for now I think this is the deal. But in case you have some other theory, leave it down below in the comment section and I would love to read them. This next topic passed unnoticed throughout many fans because it emerged in 2017 in the My Little Pony movie, where we meet a magical pearl from a Mount Iris that resides in Sequestria. The function of the pearl isn't clear in this movie, and we can understand that only it could make the hippogriffs become sea ponies and vice versa. And this happened a lot because of the length of the movie. Actually, they didn't even bother to explain this in the series or the comics, but it was on the New Generation's comics, Set Your Sail, where we found out that there are other sea ponies besides the one that live in Sequestria, the ones that live in Sparkling Sea. And in this comic, we learn that each of them have a unique magical relic that helps to maintain the balance of these realms intact, just like the elements of harmony or the crystals of union that gave the Alicorn magic to Sunny. It's said too in that comic that Sparkling Sea is the only realm that still stands, while the other realms fell after what happened in the surface. Of course, that is history that isn't 100% plot hole proof, but it is something, right? Because in G5, we see that they at least has an explanation of the origin of this mythical pearl, Well, in Friendship is Magic, this concept was thrown at our faces and never talked about it. Well, and if you got to this point, don't forget to leave a like in this video because it helps me so much. It will recommend this video to more people, okay? I think that we can safely say that one of the biggest mysteries of G4 is the origin of the Alicorns, something that was never fully explained, since the series always left this part of the lore hidden. Mainly when it was about Luna and Celestia, the royal sisters that rule Equestria for over 1,000 years. A lot of people, me included, thought that they had become Alicorns with the help of the Star Swirl, the old pony who'd mentored the two sisters. And we had a fanart that allegedly contained Celestia and Luna's parents that set the fandom on a hazard. The problem is when the series tried to explain something, they actually made the situation even more confusing, like in the Journal of Two Sisters, where it said that Star Swirl was searched by the sisters somewhere, giving in the idea that both of them aren't from Equestria and could be from another region, which was never mentioned on the series, and that they were also born as Alicorns, not turned into ones, as many believed. And excuse me for the curse word, but the crap got stinky after the episode The Crystalling, where we saw for the first time a natural-born Alicorn, and by Celestia's words, the born of an Alicorn was something never seen before in Equestria, and according to Luna, it was beyond their comprehension. Who are Alicorns? And by their saying, we can understand that they had never seen other Alicorns, and because of that, they don't know how their own species work. Actually, I don't think that Hasbro knows either, since every time it's mentioned, we get a different explanation. It's like Scott sometimes say that the protagonist of FNAF is Michael Afton, and sometimes says that it's another random character. But it was in G5 where we finally had the correct answer to the origin of the two sisters, and also the Alicorns, the city of Skyrose, lair of the Alicorns, and possibly the origin of all of them. And that's when we met Opaline, which also is part of Celestia and Luna's story, because according to her, she grew with both of the sisters. The new generation kind of followed the same logic as the Journal of Two Sisters, that says that Luna and Celestia were born as Alicorns and outside of Equestria. And going back to Celestia saying, what she meant was that Equestria never saw an Alicorn being born before, since both sisters were born outside of Equestria, and also because of Cadence, since she is quote-unquote a fake Alicorn, since she was turned into one and not born as one, which differs from Flurry Heart, that already is an Alicorn by DNA definition, not magically modified. So I think that the two sisters were referring to this. Of course, the answer isn't that much, since we already theorize about it, but thinking about the origin of the most mysterious character of G4, I can safely say that most of the mystery is solved. So guys, we must thank G5 for giving us this valuable information. But hey, did you enjoy to learn more about the inconsistencies of G4 that the new generation solved? I want to know your opinion, because it is important for me too. I think that's it for today's video. Thanks a lot for watching till here, and hasta la vista.